Hi there, my name's Tom, and today's video is on South Africa and apartheid and minerals and aid. So, if you're not familiar with apartheid, it's something that ended about 30 years ago. When all that was taking place, I was like 10 or 11 and didn't really understand what was going on. Just I remember a lot of angry talking heads on TV calling a lot of South African leaders criminals, you know. And I guess technically they were right. Nelson Mandela did serve time, but as it turns out, he was actually a hero. Why was this? Well, uh, in simplest terms, 7% of the population of South Africa is white. And through the support and investment from Western nations and businesses and corporations and so forth, that 7% population took over the entire country and ruled it with an iron fist in an openly racist system of government. And, imprisoned and even executed, any dissent. So we now, 30 years later, exist in a world where South Africa has gotten a lot better. Apartheid ended, and they're still, working and undoing a lot of the damage, and that includes dealing with land. Because that 7% essentially seized 72% of all land in South Africa. And now they're working towards taking the stolen land back and letting the general population own land. And that upsets a lot of rich people, the sort of folks who inherit emerald mines like Elon Musk, who is from South Africa. He is actually a foreigner in the US. Who knew? And he's angry about this, that, his stolen land could be taken away and given back to the people his family stole it from. And, so he has paid the president for influence, and now the president wants to start aggressively putting pressure on South Africa. So the cancellation of U.S. aid was one of those things, and Trump wants to end all aid to South Africa. Rather than, bowing down to the president's whims, South Africa said, well, we have agreements in place, and if we don't have you holding up your end of the bargain, then we're going to start ending your mineral rights that you established under those agreements. So what does this mean? Well, we get palladium, rhodium, and platinum from South Africa. We use those to make catalytic converters and other electronic things, but just focusing on automobiles, that's going to make cars more expensive. Okay. Steel and iron, also used to make cars. We get a lot of just actual steel and iron from South Africa. Yes, we can bring that business back to the US maybe, which will also be more expensive. It's fine, but expect that to go up in price as well as, tariffs. So basically, we haven't actually set the infrastructure back up in place. We haven't had any sort of development or interest from the government in building it up in preparation for these shortfalls. So you can expect the cost of automobiles to go way the hell up. Construction costs, they will skyrocket because of steel and iron. Let's see, manganese, we need that in steel production, and I think it's also used in modern battery production. So losing that is going to make things more expensive. Oh, and chromium. Again, automobile parts, if you like your aftermarket bumpers, rims, and all that stuff, as well as our ability to make stainless steel, another important metal for construction. Remember, construction is like 10% of the U.S. economy in terms of, 10% of, well, yeah, we'll just say economy. In terms of cash flow in the U.S., nearly 10% of it runs through construction. So, what does this mean? Well, our aid to other countries isn't always the charity that it's painted as. It's a business deal. And when we renege on our business deals, there are costs. When it comes to, steel production and mining in the U.S., I'm not opposed to fixing our own shortfalls here in the U.S., but that would require doing things like government subsidies and investments in order to build up our production so that we could then cut off foreign materials, which we didn't do because it just seemed like it would be really, I don't know. I don't know what kind of a person would think that was a good idea to do it without any sort of preparation. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a great day.